an unboxing. It's going to be an unboxing combo install, and so my mother-in-law's car, the air ride system is leaking, and apparently it is rotted out airbags in her Licoln Towncar. So what I've got here are some air springs. So we'll go ahead and open these up. Let's see what we got here. Now, I bought these on eBay. They were pretty inexpensive. They were $89 for the pair. I looked online, and the only reason I bought these inexpensive ones is because she doesn't plan on keeping this car that much longer. Maybe another year or so. It's a 2002 Licoln Towncar Signature Series. So these came with the clip that holds the solenoid in at the top and new O-rings, which was nice because I was going to buy a separate O-ring package or kit for it, but I didn't have to. My mother-in-law took her car to Sears, and they told her that the airbags were dry rotted, and right now it's sitting like a lowrider in the back end. I wanted to charge her $300 and something a piece plus labor, and I'm pretty sure they were going to buy them through Ford, Lincoln, but that was way too much. And these things are not that hard to put in. There's a clip that holds it at the top here. These snap into the axle, and it's got a solenoid that plugs in here. That's it. It's ridiculous. It's so easy. So here shortly, you'll be seeing the install of the airbags. So this unboxing I have here is kind of special. What I've got here is LED lighting. This particular one is the 9007 bulb. It apparently puts out 4,000 luminance, which is a total of 8,000, 4,000 per side. It's a 7th generation LED headlight bulbs. I got these for my mother-in-law's car because they have a hard time seeing at night. I figured this would help them out. And I'm going to put these in when I do the airbags on their vehicle as well. I'll do a side-by-side comparison, show you the difference between a halogen, the LEDs, and then I'll probably compare them to my Mustang too, because I have the HIDs in my Mustang, which are the 8000K, which are slightly blue. These ones are 6500K, I believe, which is a pretty bright white. I plugged one in just to see how bright it was, and it's pretty bright compared to the halogen. It was pretty awesome. So that's them there, and I bought these off eBay. There's not really a name brand on these per se, and I've actually been looking at these for quite a while. There's quite a different styles of these. Some of them have fans to cool them off, and this one, you know, is supposed to be the next best thing, which they don't need fans, because those little fans can be really loud. I think some of them spin up to like 95, 10,000 RPMs, maybe even more. But this is the bulb here. As you can see, it plugs into your harness. It's got a small little ballast for it, and there's the bulb. So it's double-sided. There is a high beam and low beam on this particular bulb. I don't know if you can see that, but the little diodes in there, and then this side is the same. The nice thing about this one is once you put it in, you can actually turn the bulb while it's in the socket. So if you have a dark spot that you don't like, you can turn it and hopefully eliminate that dark spot, because you got to realize you're only shining off two sides. It's not, you know, a true 360 degree output of light. But these seem to be pretty nice, nicely made. They were $79.99 on eBay. And what I've decided to do to promote my YouTube channel is I'm going to give away a pair of these if I get 100 subscribers. So everybody out there that's watching this video, try to get people to subscribe. And what I'm going to do is take those first 100 people and I'll find a creative way to select the winner, and I will contact the winner, let them know they have won, and purchased the style of light bulb that they want. You know, I mean, there's several different types of light bulbs, as you can see on the end of the box there. What I've also done is I've made some cards, hopefully that focuses in, promoting my YouTube channel. It says chopped on the back. Got that from my one of my favorite YouTube channels is Mighty Car Mods, and they're from Australia. And when they're saying somebody got chopped, that means they beat him at a car race or drag race. So again, there's my card. I'll be handing these out to when I go to car shows and different events, which I'll be going to tomorrow. Rich Ford, I think it's their 25th anniversary up in Edgewood, New Mexico. So there you go, pretty nice. Remember, 100 subscriber giveaway, and I will be doing a follow-up video with the install on these and the comparison. Hello YouTube world, today's the day. We will be installing the airbags for the air ride system on a 2002 Licoln Towncar. We will also be installing LED lighting. So if you haven't watched my previous video, I will be giving away a set of these beautiful LED headlight bulbs. So all I need is 100 subscribers. Once I have 100 subscribers, I will randomly pick somebody, and the winner will choose what style bulb that they want. There's several styles, and I will send them a set of headlights. So let's get started. So this is the reason why I'm replacing the airbags in the rear suspension. They're totally deflated compared to the front. Complete lowrider in the back end. I feel like I should be wearing my pants around my butt when I'm driving around. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna need some air for this job. So the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. We're going to disconnect this negative terminal. Just tuck that to the side there. Now the next thing we're going to do is inside the trunk, we are going to turn off the air ride system. There's a switch here on the driver's side. Just flip that off. I know the battery's disconnected, but when I go to hook it back up, I don't want it to automatically turn on its own. I want to be able to manually turn it on. What I'm going to do is take off the rear wheels. And there you can see the airbag. This is on the driver's side. It's totally deflated. But you can see the cracks in the airbags themselves. Now, my suspicion is that it's not really the airbags themselves. It's probably the O-rings to the airbags, because sometimes they'll stay aired up and sometimes they won't. Now, I don't know if that's O-rings or not, but we'll go around to the other side. As you can see, there are definitely cracks in the rubber around the bottom here, and then they're just kind of frayed and they just look old. You can see that one there. It looks like it's coming off the base right there slightly, but they were cheap enough, so I figured we'll do the airbags, you know. Doesn't hurt, and I got the new O-rings. So these are secured on the bottom by a metal ring on the axle, and then there's a ring on the plastic piece on the bottom here that they snap in together. Let's see if I can get this off. There they go. So now it is released. And at the top, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it, there's a clip right there, and I need to remove that clip. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film this and remove that clip on the top right there at the same time. So I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to remove that clip. Holding it in. It really didn't take too much to get it out. Just a couple taps with a dead blow hammer and it slid right out, so not too bad. Next, if you can see it back there, is this clip here needs to come off, and that's what holds the solenoid on. Hopefully I can get that off. I got a new clip, so I'm not worried about damaging it. Came with the kit. There it goes. So I got that one off. So as you can see, I got the right side out. You twist the solenoid counterclockwise, do a little wiggle, and it'll slide out about halfway, and then you give it another about a quarter twist left, or sorry, counterclockwise, and then it slides out. If you see there, there is an O-ring on there that we're going to replace. And I started to unplug the plug, which the ears are brittle and they were breaking, so I decided to leave it on. I think I can leave that on. I won't have to disconnect the air line or anything like that. One thing that happened though when I pulled it out, that retaining ring is supposed to be attached to the airbag, so I'm going to pry that out right now, see if I can get that out of there. There it went. So now the airbag, the other airbag can actually snap into that hole there. Now I'm going to repeat for the other side. So I'm prying these O-rings off of the solenoid here. Hopefully I can do this without blocking the camera, but there's a little plastic ring in the middle, and then there's an O-ring on each side. I already got one of them off. I'm going to use this little screwdriver to pry this sucker off. There we go. That's the other O-ring there. So So now I'm just going to slip these other 2 O-rings on, one on each side of this little plastic ring. There's one. Just slide that ring back. And then there's the other one. And that little plastic ring in the middle keeps them gapped properly. I guess that's what it's for. Interesting thing though, I noticed on this, if you look right here, there is this actuator that hooks up to the axle, and when you put pressure on it, this collapses here, and it's got a sensor attached to it, and I think that's how it detects the height of the ride, which is kind of cool, and knows when to put air in to the system, because the system does naturally lose air over time, or if you add weight to it, it raises the back end. So pretty cool. So inside there I've replaced, or actually added, new O-rings to the new airbags. There's a large O-ring inside there, and now I'm gonna reverse the process. Here's a little bit of information that I figured out. Take the solenoid out and put it on the airbag before you put it back together, because you cannot press this in to this hole above your head with the limited room that you have, because the O-ring inside here is so new that you have to really compress it. So I'm gonna put this in now. So you slide it in clockwise, 1 turn, push in, and then you're gonna have to push in pretty darn hard to do it. And actually, it has to go in this way. There's only one way you can put it in, because you won't be able to push it in the other way. You have to push that guy in really hard to compress that O-ring. And this is the problem I was having above my head. I just couldn't push this sucker in there. See, it's just almost about to go into that groove, but I mean, you have to put some pressure. I can't even do it by hand right here, so I don't even know how I'd be able to do it above my head. So I'm going to get some channel locks and compress it in there. So what I ended up having to do is I had to slightly shave the corner right there and slightly shave the corner right here where they meet, so that when I drop it in, there's not such a harsh connection right there where they meet. I don't know if that's focusing or not, but right there. So then I still couldn't even really push it down, twist it in. I can do it by hand now, but what I did was I just used the channel locks and ever so gently just twisted it in, because I don't want to damage the solenoid. So I'm going to do the same thing the other side before I attempt to even try to put it in. So for those of you that don't know how to remove the air hoses on these air suspension systems, you have this orange ring. Of course, the hose goes through the hole right there, and what you do is you push down on the ring and you hold it down, and at the same time you pull the hose out and it will slide right out. To put it back, you just slide the hose in and all the way down, and it'll grab onto it. So I got the new airbags in. I got the clip back in on the top. I put it the other direction so it'll be easier to get out next time. You can just pull on it. I got the C-clip behind it there on the solenoid, and I've got the base. I tried clipping them in. It was kind of difficult. I couldn't really put enough force on it. So what I'm going to do is put the wheels on, set it on the ground, turn the system on, and the weight of the vehicle should clip those in to the axle. So they're right in center. So I'm gonna put the wheels on and we'll give it a shot. And well, obviously I hooked the battery back up, got the car running. Now I'm going to flip the switch for the air ride system. Let's see what happens. We should hear the compressor come on. Give it a second here. And we should in real time be able to see this lift back up. And it may take a second because I had the battery disconnected. Sometimes it'll trip the computer out. Okay, so the compressor just turned on. I can hear it humming up front. It may take a second for this to air up. Let's go to the other side here. And I think it's doing it. Yep, the back end is definitely starting to raise. Before the lift was touching the pinch welds underneath. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if one popped out. Could have popped out. Let's check it out. So that popping noise was not any. They didn't pop out. What happened was they went ahead and snapped themselves down. As you can see, this thing has got some air in it. That's a major pressure there, so it's holding air. That is good. It's not fully inflated yet. That one snapped in as well. Looks good. Really took some pressure to snap those things in. I didn't think I'd be able to snap those in by hand, but all right, I'm gonna set the compressor's kicked back on. Let's see if this thing goes to normal ride height. I can see it moving. Looking good. Hopefully these eBay airbags hold up for a while. Look at that. Awesome. There you go. Compressor shut off. And it looks like we're at a good height. So no more saggy back end. That looks pretty damn good. I bet it's gonna ride nice now. That thing was getting pretty bouncy. Not to mention, I think the shock was bottomed out because the airbags were blown out. But that looks pretty damn good. Of the install video, I'm going to be putting these lights in. Now, this is the regular halogen bulb compared to this here. Side by side. So this bulb only lights out on both sides. I don't know if you saw the previous video, but once you put this in, you can actually turn the bulb while it's in there. So if you have a dark spot and you want to adjust it, you can turn it while it's in there. Now, most of you Ford guys know that there is a retaining ring that holds in the 9007 bulb. Ford used this for quite a few years in all kinds of makes and models. Basically what happens is you put your bulb in the socket or the headlight housing, and then this ring goes on and then twists onto the housing, and there's a backing here that pushes on the back of the bulb here and that holds it in. Now, the problem with these new style bulbs is it has this big back side to it, and if you look at this, it's not really, doesn't fit very well, or actually doesn't fit at all. You can't really get it in there. So on these bulbs, I was looking at this and there is an Allen wrench in here, and apparently the housing on this thing is adjustable. So I'm going to pull this out and see how this works. So there's a little hole right here we're going to put this little Allen wrench in there and loosen that up. And let's see what this does to the back side of this thing here. Oh, so there you go. You can actually move this part and actually take it off, so you can put in the retaining ring. Now this unscrews as well now that I've taken that Allen screw loose. So if that goes there, then I'll be able to put this back on, and in theory I should be able to put this in and twist this down. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully it works out that way. I'm gonna have to mess around with it a little bit here off camera, but I'll try it out and see how it works, and then we'll install these bad boys. All right. One thing I really like about these headlights, and I'm going to show you how to take them out, is the way they're designed to come out. I mean, it's so easy. There's 3 retaining pins. You just pull them out. Just like that. Awesome design. Then you just slide the headlight forward and boom, it's out. You just got your wires connected. Awesome design. I'm in the body shop business, and some of these headlights are ridiculous to get out. Some of them you have to pull the front bumper to get the headlights out. So this makes this really easy to change these bulbs. So the first thing you do is, there is a retaining ring on the back. You twist that off, and then the bulb comes right out, just like that. And then you just disconnect the harness behind the bulb. There you go. And there's the retaining ring. So about the retaining ring. So this heatsink is pretty large behind this bulb, and I didn't want it to actually touch the ring because I'm assuming this gets pretty hot, and I didn't want to take a chance of melting the ring. So here's a side-by-side comparison. I shaved this one down quite a bit, you can see there. I can still put it in. I don't know why they made them so large. This is the same kind of style that my Mustang has, and mine are about this width. So this is why. So this heatsink twists off so that you can actually put the retaining ring on. You can put this on this way, or you can put it on this way. It doesn't matter. So you put the retaining ring on. Put that inside there. And then you put the heatsink back on. And I'm going to twist it on just far enough to where I can tighten that set screw. And it's in there. There, I can see the set screw right there. I can still reach in there and tighten that guy down. Just gonna make it snug for now. So it's in. Now when this bulb is in the housing and the retaining ring is locked in place, I still have a gap between the plastic and the heatsink. Don't want that to touch, because it probably will melt. So I think that's going to do it, because I don't want to trim too much more off of this, because then it'll be harder to actually reach in there and lock it into place. So I think I'll be good there. It's about halfway threaded in. In the instructions it doesn't say it has to be tightened all the way down, just far enough I guess to get that Allen screw to lock in. So there you go. Take this back out, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put the one bulb in and then show you guys what the difference looks like inside the housing between the halogen and the LED bulb. And there again, that's how much I shaved off. Now every car is different. This is for the Licoln Towncar. The Mustang probably wouldn't have to do that because the ring is already pretty narrow. Any other car, I don't know. You know, imports, other domestic vehicles, it all depends. So when I give away a set of these headlight bulbs, it's up to you guys to figure out Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that install video. I had a good time fixing my mother-in-law's car, no longer a lowrider, and better lighting, so hopefully she can see better at night. Don't forget the LED headlight bulb giveaway for the first 100 subscribers. Now, I'm not going to give out 100 pair. I am going to give out one to a lucky subscriber of the first 100. So I don't have that many now, but if everybody can put the word out and get people to subscribe, anybody could win these bulbs. So I'm going to step up my video recording game here a little bit. I've ordered myself a Sony FDR AX33. For you tech nerds out there, you probably know what that is. For the rest of you, it is a 4K ultra high definition camcorder. This camcorder has the balanced optical steady shot, so you get really good steady videos. Even if you're walking around, moving around, the inside lens actually floats and moves around with your movement. Pretty awesome. It has Wi-Fi. It can control up to 5 other action cameras, so you can get all the angles. It has a projector. It has night vision, and it is pretty awesome. So I can't wait for that to show up on the, I think the 23rd is when it's supposed to be here. So be on the watch out for my new videos. They should look a lot better. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one.